So welcome to MoggyBoxCraft. I'm Deborah and today it's a garden update. But it's also the time of year to start supporting plants as they start growing. In my last garden update in May, so due to mostly slugs I think, possibly weather conditions, I lost all my carrots, parsnips and Brussels sprouts from my third raised bed. So about a week ago, on the 1st of June 2020, I decided it was time to replant that bed. I've made little furrows in the soil using my trowel. So I've done this all along the bed, a couple inches apart, which ideally you'd want to space them out more, but because I've got such a small garden and such small raised beds, so they're only about 3 meters by a metre, so we've got minimal space, so we want maximum veg. And I've picked 2 different types of carrots to plant. The first one was the Autumn King 2. So I just tapped them into the little furrows. My next carrot I've chosen, I think it's called Maestro. Again, I've just tapped that into the soil. I've written up little markers for the carrots. Mark up all your veg, use little markers, because trust me, you're going to wish you knew where everything was and what exactly it was as well. So after that, I've just gently covered over them, pushed all the soil together with my hands so the soil's all flat again, and just give them a good water in. I have also planted parsnips because I felt like I needed to. I really like parsnips. Roast parsnip soup, yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Anyway, on to the rest of the garden. 1st of June, I thought I'd take you around the garden for a wee look. So the roses are blooming. Oh, they look beautiful this year. Here's how the greenhouse is looking. We have had a tiny move around of things just to make everything make a little bit more sense. All the lettuce is now down this side. This planter's completely empty. I've put the chilies and peppers together. Asparagus is just in here now. We're starting to get peas. Look at that little guy and all these flowers which will turn into pea pods, just like this. The sweet peppers are really growing now. Don't know what to say about the asparagus. Tomato plants. I have popped in some support for the tomato plants, which I'll show you how to do later. Sun golds. These are starting to flower, so hopefully we will get tomatoes soon. Cherry tomatoes. So I do spy a little flower in there. These are the money makers. No flowers on them yet. Aubergines. Butternut squash is starting to come on. He's getting some real leaves now. Sweet corn at the back there. In this one we have had a little bit of damage. You can see the telltale marks on that leaf there. I have been coming out every night looking for this slug or snail or whatever he is that is eating the sweet corn. This one hasn't fared very well, but he's coming on, he's still growing, so we'll leave it be. This one's got a little bit of damage as well. The rest of them are looking really good. I did end up turning all the boxes around, just switching them around, just so the tallest plants were at the back. And to give these little ones just a little bit more of a chance of sunlight. Lettuce is looking good. A little bit burnt there. More lettuce. Winter lettuce is okay. Flowers are coming on, slowly but surely. The wildflowers are doing pretty good. Spinach is crazy, I can't seem to eat enough of it. Down here, these are all seeds I replanted to try and fix the third bed. I think I planted these about a week ago. So already, you can see these are all flowers, so they're already starting to grow. Brussels sprouts down here, onion. My cayenne chilli and my jalapenos hasn't done a thing, so maybe the seeds were just a bit too old. I did go ahead and plant some more pumpkin seeds. That's the Crown Prince, and these are the Giant Atlantic. They might get planted into this end bed here. I've got some potato invaders there from last year as well. Oh, Chico is snoozing in the sunshine. Here's how the raised beds are all looking now. So a little update on the raised beds. Garlic still seems to be okay. These leaves are starting to turn a little bit yellow, but again, they'll probably be ready to harvest in June, July. The potatoes have gone wild in such a short space of time. I thought I did see some, oh yes, there is some evidence of them starting to flower. Some people say take the flowers off, some people say leave them on. I'm going to leave them on because that's what I've always done, but maybe depends on the type of potato variety you have. Set onions in here, they're doing pretty good I think. Rainbow beetroot and the Baltree beetroot really need to thin this out, but I haven't got round to that yet. But you know, the more the merrier. I've got such a small space in my garden, got to make the most of it. Rainbow beetroot is a bit patchy, but just going to leave that be. And up the back here we've got some courgettes. Zucchini courgettes over there, and this is the Virginia 3 courgette. And again I've got some potato invaders. from last year, I think. I'd lost everything that was in this bed, unfortunately. Planted more carrots in here and some more parsnips in here. I have ended up putting a little bit of slug deterrent on there because I think that's what's got them all last time, and I've chucked in loads of seeds just in case we have any more problems. I do like to put this little protector over the top. It stops the birds getting in there. In here I have popped in some more parsnip seeds, and at the back here I think this is the bed I might pop pumpkins into, and or Brussels sprouts. Probably both, and then if I lose one then it'll all be fine. Oh, Chico's flopped into the shade next to the water bowl. This is how the flowers are looking. They're definitely starting to come on now. Again, darkest part of the garden, so it is a little bit tricky. So these are my sunflowers. I have stuck in this bamboo cane and then very loosely used cable ties just to give them a tiny bit of support and keep them upright and to keep them off the soil. I think that's what this might be. I'm not sure, I'm going to have to check, as I think it's from them touching the soil. So I will find out and let you guys know. So this newly planted gala apple tree is doing really well, although I have had to give him a little bit of support because he was leaning quite badly. I very loosely tied a piece of rope and attached it down here to this post just to give that a little bit of support. Giving a bit of support to the bramble, I think I showed that in my last video. I shall link that above if you'd like to watch. Pear tree. Oh, is he? Oh, I don't think that is going to turn into a pear. I haven't really spotted many yet. Apples are coming on nicely. This is looking incredible down here. It's gone wild. Peas down here are looking fab. And the Shiraz Mange 2 down here is starting to take off. Look at those red currants. Incredible. So many red currants. Blackberries looking great. And I did spy down here raspberries. I didn't know if they'd ever come back, but we do look like we're getting a few. Grasses have really come on this year. Chico's chilling down there. And that is how the garden is looking. What are you up to, Pelle? Oh, I see you, buddy. Yeah. Strobs are coming on a treat. And I do spy a few cherries. Oh, I really hope we get yeah, there seems to be loads up there. Not sure if they'll turn to anything, but we'll see. See how we get on with the weather. These are all little flower seedlings we repotted last time. They're coming on really well. That marigold looks like it's nearly ready to flower. Everything else is growing quite nicely, I think. Chinese lantern's looking good. Here is the Himalayan poppies. They're coming on really good, so I'm going to pop them out into the greenhouse now. I've given up with the other pot because it's still empty, but yeah, I'm going to pop these into the greenhouse now, into the propagator with the rest of them. I might just leave their lid off in there and see how we get on with them. So it's now the 7th of June 2020, and I thought I'd just give you a little update the week later. I also want to show you a few supports that I've put in for plants. We had an awesome week of weather last week, and in the last few days it has been quite blustery, and looking out the window today, it's a bit dreich. We're going to head into the garden now, and I'm going to show you what else has been happening. Back in the garden, back in the greenhouse. I know it's only been a week, but at this time of year everything seems to grow really, really fast. The peas are coming on crazy. Peas are just flowering so well, and down here I think this might be my first pea pod. How exciting is that? Well, it is for me. I don't know about you guys, but I'm really pleased, and it looks like we're going to get loads more. I've also given the peas a load of support using all this string that goes right up. I've also given the tomatoes a load of support that goes right up as well. So I thought I would show you how to do that now. So to give the tomatoes some support in the greenhouse, all I use little bits of like leftover rope. Any kind of rope seems to do the trick. And these things, it's like, I guess a bit like a tent peg. Really simple. Tie your string around your tent peg, and then you just want to take this, stab that into the ground, and the top, so I just attach my hooks to the roof of my greenhouse, just top end, and just make sure the rope is taut so they've got support. And in that way you can kind of just help push your plants in here. So this is probably the first year I've properly tried this. So far, so good. So next up, I'm going to talk to you about the tomato plant and side shoots. As the tomato plants are really starting to grow now, Is this a controversial topic with tomato growing? I don't know. Depending on the variety, you either need to cut out the side shoots or not. So this year, I'm actually going to cut off all the side shoots on all of my tomato plants, which I'll show you how in a minute. But also what I like to do is take away some of the lower leaves, just to get a bit of airflow, because obviously I've got a lot of plants in here. We're growing in a very small space, and it does get a little bit overwhelming. So that's what I'm going to show you now. So here is the main stalk of the plant. So here would be the branch comes out. So we've got about a 90-degree angle here, and this 45-degree little extra place here. Now he's gone quite wild, and this is what I'd call a side shoot. So you just snip it out, just like so. Oh, that's another good one there. Here's the main stem of the plant, and here we've got the true leaf growing out. And this is your side shoot. I am going to cut out this side shoot here. So we just go in, job done. And to help a little bit with airflow, and just take away these sort of lower branches. So I would recommend just taking your time with this. Don't take out too much to start with. Got a little side shoot in there. Pinch that out with my nail. I am going to go through the rest of these and tidy all the rest of the tomato plants up, like these here. Just give them a little bit more breathing space, and it does mean as well a lot more of the nutrients are going straight to the flowers where your fruit is coming in. So here's how the tomato plants look now. I think a lot of it depends on the variety of tomato you do, how you like to garden, airflow in your greenhouse. I just like a little bit of space in there. So instead of all that energy going into the side shoots in the tomato plant, we now have all that energy going into the flower to produce tomatoes. Oh, aubergines are starting to sprout. Oh, hi butternut squash, you're looking good. Sweet corn's fairly growing. We've been eating the lettuce, so yeah, it's looking a bit patchy there, but it's because we've been eating it. The iceberg lettuce is looking like it's going to do something soon. Winter lettuce isn't looking quite so good, but I have still hope. I have hope. Sweet peppers here definitely coming to life, as is the chilies and the pepper salad down there. Yes, we've also been eating the spinach. It seems to be growing faster than I can eat it, and we have been chopping off all these little flowers that keep appearing, so the energy goes into making more spinach leaves rather than making a flower. Wildflower bombs are doing great. Those are the other little flower seeds. They are starting to grow now. These flower seeds are doing fine. We've got this big giant thing here. Is this a weed, or was this actually from the seeds I've planted? I really don't know. We'll wait and see. On to the extra seeds I planted. So I think I originally planted all these guys on the 26th of May. So about 2 weeks ago, to replace things that I'd lost in that third raised bed up there. I've left the lid off the propagator a bit more now. Pumpkins are a little bit crazy. I really need to get these guys replanted. As you can see from the roots, they really desperately need to be repotted. I did pop out the Himalayan poppies out here. I'm not entirely sure if they're 100% happy, but they need to get used to the outdoors eventually. Hollyhock, these guys, I think have been eaten a little bit by slugs. Brussels sprouts, they're coming on fine. We've got a few onions as well growing in here. Jalapenos and the cayenne, well, we've got one jalapeno, so we'll keep an eye on that and see what happens. And is it official? Is this the time I give up on the melon seed? Because it has done nothing. It is a bit of a dreich day. I did empty out this pot of strawberries because it was not looking happy. But hopefully we're having so much luck with strawberries this year so far that hopefully the runners will be planted into this pot as well here. And hopefully very soon these guys should start turning into strawberries. And we have loads this year. So the cherry tree was looking really great. The cherry tree has got cherries on it. I don't know if these guys will come to anything. Because we've had a spate of bad weather, as we can see from down here, loads of them have just been chucked off into the garden we go. And I can happily report our first marigold. Roses unfortunately have been a tiny bit battered by the weather as well, and I'm going to string those up properly using some string and tie it around here. Have a look at these raspberries again. Honestly, I can't even tell you how chuffed I am about this raspberry plant. I honestly thought it was dead and gone and that was it, but it very much looks like we're going to get raspberries. Maybe not many, but there's definitely a few in there. The marrow peas are coming on a treat as well. Got a load of flowers coming on them, so I'm expecting to see marrow peas very shortly. French beans are starting to look a tiny bit better, but we'll be waiting a while for that. Apples are definitely coming on. We're definitely getting a few more up there as well. Does look like we're going to get some apples on this guy as well. We're getting so much new growth on this tree. I'm so pleased. The rhubarb has been completely battered by the wind. And down here at the bottom of the garden, we've got our black currants. A bit like the red currants. They're doing real good in there, so hopefully they will be good this year. And a little bit of a grass update. So although the grass is looking a load better, the grass is coming on. Unfortunately, I have a soft heart and decided that the dogs really should be allowed to go on it and roll. They love being on the grass and rolling and playing, and especially with the nice weather. I might have had a few days lying in a blanket in the grass, so it probably did not help the grass very much, but who cares? It's grass, it's a garden, it's here to be enjoyed, so I'm going to continue letting the dogs out into the proper garden, onto the grass to enjoy it when I'm out there. Because it's grass, it'll grow back. Well, this year, with the grass, what I'm going to do is I'm not going to cut it as short as what I did last year. I'm just going to keep it on a reasonably high level, and especially at the end of the year, I'm definitely not going to be cutting it. I'm going to try at the end of the year not to cut it so short, so late, and then over winter, I'll try and keep the dogs off it as much as possible to protect it as much as possible. If you've enjoyed this garden update, give us a wee like, leave a little comment, and share this video with anyone you think might find it useful. Subscribing is of course optional, but it is very much appreciated. And if you're subscribed, you can look forward to more garden updates and random crafts and painting. It's a good old fun time. So thank you so much for watching. See you next time. Bye!